Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor. We are back in Erkenbrand's camp. So you might remember on the previous episode, we went looking for Greenbolt at the Fort of Eisen, we found them, we were able to lift his spirits, and now, well, Gandalf and Erkenbrand saved us. And let's see what Gandalf has to say about this. A little later than I would have liked, but I believe that this turn of events has been fortuitous. I do not think I would have been able to gather them all without you, Beriathan. Alright, what do we have here? Agility, Vitality, Physical Mastery, Critical Rating. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this. Yeah. Perfect. Let us all make for Helm's Deep at once. Beriathan, you must ride at once to the aid of King Theoden. Shadowfax and I will go with Erkenbrand, Greenbolt and Dun here at whatever pace this army of foot soldiers can move. Hurry, Beriathan. Do not miss the closing of Helm's Gate against the enemy, or you will be on the wrong side and you will not survive the approach of the Horde.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Go well, friend Warden. If I had my horse I would ride with you now, but it is not to be. I hope to fight at your side one day, Beriathan. You were valiant to rally Greenbolt from his despair. A true friend to Rohan.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
It felt good to grasp a sword again, Beriathan. Very good. I have you to thank for my reunion with my allies. With Erkenbrand at our helm, we will crash upon our foes as they fall on Helm's Deep. Now I march, and I hope that I will fight alongside you again, Beriathan. Good luck to you, my friend. Your deeds will be worthy of song this night, I know it. Alright, so yeah, this night. Because as you can see here, the time is upon us for the battle at Helm's Deep. What's the way out of this camp? I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it seems the only way out is this ramp in here. So we will be riding to Helm's Gate. As you can see here, we only have these two quests left for the Landscape Westfall quests, and these two are really short to complete. And we also have the Epic, of course. We need to find a guardhouse. Well, last time we did the Epic, we talked with Gimli at a gate, with Gamling and Theoden, I believe, too. But nothing else. As you can see, we are still on chapter 1 of book 13, so we'll need to keep doing that. So while we get to Helm's Deep, let me tell you a little bit what I think we will be doing this episode and the following episode as well. On this episode, we are basically going to get everything we need to get to be ready for the Battle of Helm's Deep. So finishing this last few quests, advance the Epic all the way to the battle, but we're gonna leave the battle for the next episode. Warband, oh my god. Bethan, Priestess of Isengard, we could technically do this one. It's a raid one, but all of those enemies are on foot, so I think if we wanted to, we could do that. But no, I really want to get to the Battle of Helm's Deep. If time is on our side, we might even be able to do the tutorial for epic battles today. So that way we can save some time on the next episode. You don't really need to do the tutorial if you know what you're doing. It's not that long, really. So yeah, I hope we can do that today. But if it's not of interest to you, you can skip the tutorial, basically. But as you might have guessed from what I've been saying, the plan for the next episode is to do the entirety of the Battle of Helm's Deep, from the dike to the Hornburg, all in one sitting. And there are many different reasons for that, but let us first talk to Gambling here at the gate, and then I will continue explaining all this to you.
I have need of you. There is still much to be done.
Beriathan, I had not thought to see you again. Hurry, friend, hurry! I must lock the gate at once, for our last scout says that the enemy is hot on their heels. From whence did you come? Hey, never mind. It must be a story for another time. Right to the Hornburg. As you can see, well, this is the way in which the game goes around us not telling everyone about Erkenbrand. There are a few times in which we come across situations like this in which we know things that canonically any character can know. So the devs try to find a way for us not to tell them.
The fortress is quite well built by the standards of men.
Travel up the road and see the fortress, my friend. It is quite well built by the standards of men. Dwarves could do better, but it is not always... Is this not always true? Yeah, you could say so. Here we have the stables in the dike. Citadel, we had already talked to him too.
The Hornburg has never fallen to any enemies of the Mark.
I pray we may still say this on the morrow. I'm gonna do my best to help you achieve that, of course. And here we are, finally. The Hornburg, Helm's Deep. Take a look at this. Finally. I'm really excited to be finally here and to be part of this battle. So let me advance the epic and the other quests, and then Hama and the Orwina have a great deal to do to reinforce the guardhouse. So yeah, gonna advance the epic, and as soon as I have some time, I'm gonna explain to you a little bit what's the plan for the next episode.
We must hope Saruman's armies do not breach the dike. These doors will not hold long.
We are trying to reinforce the doors, but there is not enough sturdy wood in the deep. Everything is either rotted or dry and old. Brittle wood will do us no good. We must hope that Gambling and the other soldiers are able to keep the armies of Saruman from breaching the dike, or these doors will not keep them long. Hama says I'm wrong. I hope he is right. The Orwina believes the guardhouse doors will not last if tested. And I don't want to put that to the test.
The tides of war bring you once again to the king's shore, my friend.
No, this time I will not take your weapons or keep you from seeing Theoden. Now I am pleased you are here and hope that your skill in battle is as great as I am told. The Orwina and I seek to reinforce the doors of this guardhouse, but it is to be hoped that the forces of Saruman do not get this far into the deep. Still, it is good to be prepared. You tell Hama of your meeting with Leofert in Brockridge, and the doorward sighs heavily. Thank you for the news of my father. He has been in poor health for many years, but I am glad to know that he thinks of his son from time to time. He is often in my thoughts. If there is some measure of glory to be had in the hours ahead, I hope it is my lot to make Leofert proud. Hama is neither confident nor without hope, but he seeks to make his father proud. And we know he will, but... well, let us not get ahead of ourselves right now. We can finally...
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
Finally unlock the stable master at Helm's Deep, and we can also talk to the quartermaster of the Helmingas and get them master in Helm's Deep, which can also be quite helpful. There are some other elements in here that might come in handy for later. But for the time being, yeah, the master.
These lands are not to be traveled lightly.
We had the rep to trade for that master for a long while now, but well, we hadn't had the chance of meeting them. This shield that we just got, yeah, let us equip this. We're gonna lose some finesse, but hopefully we will do good. And now, let us take this master in Helm's Deep. Okay. So first of all, Agelwin is around here, so let us bring Agelwin a Gladsunu's letter.
These are desperate times for the Rohirrim.
You give Agelwin the news of her husband and hand her the letter. I knew he was gone, Beriathan. At some point I just knew. I do not know how. It is thanks to you that I was strong enough to face it rather than be paralyzed by fear. I will miss him more than anything, but at least now my grieving can begin, now that all hope of his return is truly gone. There is comfort in this letter. Thank you for this gift.
I'm afraid of what is happening to these lands.
I have one last favor to ask of you, Beriathan. I know the remainder of my people and I did not part on the best of terms. I wish to know how Egelnoth and the others fared when they went back to Martin. Will you search for them there? Be careful, dear friend. The enemy is strong. Okay, so I didn't remember we had this quest, this last quest as well. The Dissenters of Martin. Of course, we need to go back to the town. Let us do this really quick. And this, I think, will give me the chance to explain to you what's the plan for the next episode, because next episode is the Battle of Helm's Deep. So back in the day, you only had one option for this, and that was, of course, doing the epic on one hand, and on the other hand, doing the epic battles. And not a lot of people are fans of epic battles, and that's why on update 27 the story tales were introduced. So that gives you the option of not doing the epic battles but still being able to finish the epic book. What's my stance on this? The story tales provide you, as the name implies, very cool story moments, character interactions. They make you care about what's going on, but they are really short and they don't provide you that big epic sense that these battles should. Something that I think the epic battles do better, as the name implies as well. But on the other hand, the epic battles, they are grand and they are epic at times, but not always, because at times they don't feel epic at all, because they are missing those big character moments. So I really think the best way to experience the Battle of Helm's Deep is with a combination of epic battles and story tales. So that's what we will be doing. I've run some tests with other characters, trying to find the best way to mix the epic battles and the story tales, and I have a pretty good idea of what to do, but I still have to tinker in some details. So I will take the time in between this episode and the next to refine my plan, but I think I can still tell you a little bit how is this gonna work. For the time being though, let me find the refugees and we'll go back to my plan in just a moment. Alright. The refugees. Yeah. Just ahead. Okay. So these corpses are not for looting. These are the refugees. Did you really expect anything different than this? The corpse of one of Martin's townsfolk who foolishly returned to the enemy-controlled town. Yeah. Told you so, but you didn't want to listen. Brash folly motivated this man to choose fighting for a lost home over his own life. This poor woman never had a chance. Her stubbornness led her to this fate. This lady was firm in her disagreement with Agelwin's decision. Little did she know that it would end this way. She had to know. Well, maybe she didn't know, but we did try to tell them. I just realized we don't have active our track artifacts skill, but luckily we could see. We can see them with this. And here we have Egelnoth. Dead right next to his chest. So this is what he was trying to protect. To get back to. Egelnoth evidently only wished to return to salvage his lost riches. Here they lie untouched after his death. We have discovered a bitter sin in Martin, the death of those who defied the wisdom of their Thane. Rather than help a few survivors reach Helm's Deep, they flocked proudly to their untimely deaths. Oh, finally, kindred to the Helmingas. So glad to have this done. So, here we have them, the Helmingas, kindred standing with them. Did complete it. Here, the title and 20 LOTRO points. Now, we can go back to Helm's Deep, and this is truly the perfect time to use our newly acquired master in Helm's Deep. This will save us some time. Do we need to talk to Agelwyn now? I mean, will she have a new quest for us? Let me check really quick with her. And by the way, I love this track. I don't know why. It's kind of peaceful, but at the same time, kind of eerie, gloomy. So it fits perfect in here. If you want to know my opinion. It doesn't seem that Agelwyn has any other quests. It seems that is all. Now we need to find Legolas and Siegfried atop the Deeping Wall. This is the Deeping Wall, but this is not where they are located. And this is still the only part of Helm's Deep that still kind of confuses me, because this is the access to the Deeping Wall that crosses the Combe. But there's also this place on top, the one we were in before. Legolas waves a greeting as you approach. So as you can see, yeah, that's the wall, and here is like the wall surrounding the harbor. So I sometimes get kind of confused in here, but here we are.
Ask the king if there is aught you can do.
We meet once more, my friend. If you seek battle, you have come to the right place, but if you seek a good rest or peaceful quiet, you should leave this ravine at once. If the numbers reported by Theoden's scouts can be trusted, this entire gorge will be filled with orcs before the moon is down. From here we'll have a clear shot upon any foe that seeks to cross the flat plain before the Deeping Wall. Every arrow I lose will spell death for one of our enemies, but which will I first exhaust? My arrows or our foes? All of us will have our part to play during the coming night. Legolas fears he will run out of arrows before the battle is done. And yeah, that's understandable.
These are the times that prove the strength of our hearts, are they not?
We are well met, my new friend. These are the times that prove the strength of our hearts, are they not? We are lucky to live in such times, for the opportunity to prove ourselves up to the task. Saruman's orcs will arrive at the dike, and if they are not defeated outright, they will push into the space before our walls. We will whittle down their numbers with arrows and with thrown spears, and they will shake their blades and gnash their teeth, and will have no choice but to turn away. The harbor has never been breached. It will not be breached tonight, either. Siegfried is incredibly confident. So Sigfrid is one of the new Rohirrim soldiers that we have met. We met Citadel at the entrance of the dike. Now Sigfrid, this is important because we will meet these guys during the epic on the upcoming battle. But something that it's kind of curious is you might not meet Sigfrid again if you decide to do the story tales instead of the epic battles, because the epic battles have you work with a set of NPCs, the story tales with a different set. Why is that the case? I don't know, because you could technically use the same soldiers for both, and I don't know what the deal is with this. But anyway, here we are at the Herberg. There is a maelstrom of activity outside the walls of the Herberg, and here we have Theoden. So first, this. You have to come to offer me your sword at this late hour? Good, I am glad. We can use the might of a Warden now more than ever. Are you ready for war, Beriathan? The likes of which you have never seen. Yeah, I am ready. Vitality, agility, block, and critical defense. Yeah, we're gonna upgrade our earring. Now completed. You have arrived at Helm's Deep in time for the siege. We got 1 class trade point. And have discovered Survivor of the Long Night, which we will get. Well, as we advance to the epic.
This is where I will make my stand. Let Saruman's armies come.
Welcome to the Herberg, Beriathan. This is where I will make my stand. Let Saruman's armies come. They will break upon our walls and we will scatter them across the fields. There is no shortage of tasks to be done. The only thing we lack is time. The scouts tell me Saruman's forces will be here before the moon is high. Theoden is confident the Herberg will not be breached. That seems to be the leitmotif. Here, the Rohirrim are confident in their walls. History is backing them on that regard.
You ride a fast steed, my friend.
Were you able to be a help to my sister Eowyn? And how did you find my own home of Altberg? Has Arsil maintained the village as well as his father once did? You give Eomer what tidings you can in the little time you both have to spare. I see. My uncle believes this battle will be over quickly, but I am not so certain. I hope he is right. There will be much work to do to restore the Mark, even once the fighting is done. But first, we must survive the coming battle. Eomer is worried that the battle will be neither easy nor quick. You are wise, my friend.
My heart tells me that we are in for a long night.
I am glad to see you, my well-traveled friend. My heart tells me we are in for a long night. The men of Rohan have sheltered in the Herberg before, and its walls have never failed them. I have seen many points of weakness already, and we have only been here a short while. We must ensure this fortress does not fall. If Rohan falls, I fear the rest of Middle-earth will not stand long.
Weapons are in short supply.
Erkenbrand had a small amount for the garrison, but his men took most of the weapons and armor with them when they rode to the forts, and most of them have not returned. Theoden has called for the people of the Westfold to send as many iron goods as they can spare to the deep. It is not much, but we may be able to fashion weapons and crude armor from these iron goods in the hours we have before the battle is joined. Search through one of the barrels of iron goods and sort its contents on the nearby mat. Any strong iron could be useful, but we need to know what we have available. The barrel? In here. You retrieve a pile of iron goods from the barrel. Now we check them here on the sorting mat. With a third of the goods set on the mat, you see little of use. With most of the goods set on the mat, you still see little of use. With all the goods set on the mat, you see 1 or 2 usable pieces.
I have had an idea, friend.
While watching the main training, I realized something interesting. From a great distance, I could not tell if a man was training with a straw dummy or if his opponent was merely parrying his blows without a great deal of motion. If I, with the keen eyes of my people, could not tell the difference, what would one of Saruman's seal-bred minions make of it? I think we should carry some training dummies to the top of the wall, Beriathan. It will make our numbers seem the greater, and any arrow wasted upon a dummy is one which could have struck a fighting man. That is a trait worth of any amount of heavy lifting. Yeah, but you are not the one doing the heavy lifting. Anywho, yeah, we're gonna pick the training dummy and bring that back to Legolas at the deep wall. So as I was saying, there are some key differences between story tales and epic battles. I have run them both, and I'm trying to decide which one will fit best the story, depending on what happens. You set the dummy atop the wall and hope it will draw fire away from the defenders. Yeah, we need to dress this dummy, but it's a start.
That is a clever idea, if it proves successful.
Unless Saruman's armies turn aside for some reason I cannot tell, they will arrive at the deep during the hours of darkness. They will not be able to tell the difference between these dummies and the defenders atop the wall until they get very near to the wall, and by then I will have claimed many lives of orcs. I spoke for a time with your friend Corudan. I met his sister when we stayed in Lothlorien. If Sigilet were here with her deadly knives, the orcs would have a great deal to fear. While I am wishing for unlikely happenstance, why not hope for the arrival of an army of my own king? That would be a sight indeed, but they are far from here and have their own concerns and their own lands to defend. The Rohirrim are on their own. They will have to make do with 2 elves, 1 dwarf, and 2 men. Speak of Corudan, he wanted to send you to him. He rode down to the dike and said he wished to see the approaching armies with his own eyes. Now, my question is, if you're an elf or if you're a dwarf, if you're playing as one of those 2 races, the text has to be different, right? But I have not paid attention to that. Anyway, we need to go to Corudan and talk to him. So you see what Legolas was doing right there, right? Wishing for an army of elves, like throwing a jab, first of all, to the elves of Lorien that appeared in the movies that are not in the books, so having some fun at that, but also referencing something that he will also say at some point. He says at some point during Return of the King when they meet their great company, and it's like, why didn't we wish for some of our own people? I think it's Gimli the one who says that, and Legolas says, well, the enemy is already at their doorsteps, so they are fighting their own battles. So very, very clever writing there, being able to reference both things at once. Great writing, if you ask me. So you can tell the devs were having a lot of fun being able to finally touch upon some of the heavier moments in the books. And we as players, at least I am having a great deal of fun as well. Very excited to what's to come.
There you are, my friend. I am glad to see you before I leave.
I am going to ride from the dike and see what I can tell of Saruman's forces. There may be some weakness in the ranks we will be able to exploit, but until I see his armies on the march, all we have is rumor and fear. I will return before long and tell you what I have seen. Do not fear. I will return before the battle is joined, and perhaps with news that can help us. Stand strong and inspire the men of Rohan, Beriathan. I know you will not let them down. Okay, so Corudan will try to come soon, but spoiler alert, he does not come. And for this, the devs have to adhere with what the book said, and there was only 1 elf at the Battle of Helm's Deep. So Corudan will not be able to come back, and funny enough, we still don't know what has happened to him. I expect at some point we will find out what happened to Corudan. Hopefully the devs have not forgotten about him. My guess is, well, he was outnumbered and taken prisoner, but I don't think the answer is that simple. Hopefully we will get an answer at some point. Anyway, we talk to Gambling now.
Farmers of the Westfold have brought more iron goods for us.
We have been fortunate so far, Beriathan. Farmers of Westfold have brought more iron goods for us to use. Carry one of these barrels of iron goods to your friend Aragorn outside the walls of the Hermberg. He has been sorting through the barrels for anything of use in preparing the defenses. Okay, here we have another barrel. This time we need to carry this all the way to the Hermberg. And I gotta say, I am grateful we have forced march, because doing this without speed boosts, it's really tedious. So at least now we are not going to take as long. So back to the plan. What are we doing? I still need to refine some details, but the idea is to do the epic battles as much as possible. If anything, just to get promotion points and eventually get some trade points, but also to get the full scope of the battle. But the plan is to also include the moments from the story tales that also help to give weight to the story. So for example, the story tale at Helm's Dyke has a lot of great moments to witness. The Dipping Wall not so much. I find the Dipping Wall to be just a repeat of the epic battle, but shorter, so we're gonna do the epic battle of the Dipping Wall instead. The Dipping Comb, I have not decided yet, because nothing major happens on the epic battle of the Dipping Comb, but the story tale does provide you some great story moments. But if you do the story tale, you skip some objectives of the epic, because they're basically a repeat of each other. And if you do the Dipping Comb, the epic battle, you will meet Sigfirth. If you do the story tale in the Dipping Comb, you will meet other characters. But the story tales also introduce you to other characters that are really important for the Glittering Caves. On the Glittering Caves, we will do once again some of the story tales, some of the story, the epic battle. And for the Hermberg, I think something similar as well. So I'm telling you, I'm still tuning the last details of this, so I will have a definitive answer for you on the next episode. For now, let us talk to Aragorn.
Thank you for bringing this all the way up here.
I am glad more barrels of iron are coming into the deep, but there is no certainty that we will be able to make use of their contents. It is worth the wager. Thank you for bringing this all the way here. Vitality, Agility, Faith, Morale. Yeah, let us take this. Yeah.
The next few hours will sorely test us all, but none more than the King of Rohan.
Aragorn speaks to you in hushed tones. The next few hours will sorely test us all, my friend, but none more than the King of Rohan. It will be Theoden's resolve, as much as the strength of his fighting men, that will govern our chances of survival. He will not speak plainly to me or to any of us on this matter. It is not his way, nor the way of most who rule. Find Leowina and ask him what he makes of the king's mood and temperament. I cannot tell if the king is putting on a brave face, but Leowina has served him for many years and will know better than I the truth of this. I last saw the minstrel below us by a pile of straw near the western wall. Alright, so we're about to begin the battle, but before we do so, there is one more thing I want to do. And that is get ready for the battle myself, because this outfit provides little protection for what we are about to face. So in preparation for this, I have two different outfits, and I have not decided yet which one to wear. So this one, which is green, like most soldiers from Rohan, and with also a spare shield in case that's needed, and a shield from Rohan too. On the books it said Gimli received a shield, if I'm not mistaken. Aragorn also received a shield, as well as some armor. So it seems fitting that I received some shields as well, right? So here is option 1, with a spare shield, blood in green. Maybe we can use a helmet as well, but I think I like better the outfit without the helmet. Not too practical, but hey, If Aragorn and Eomer can get away with not wearing a helmet, I think I can too. And this is option 1 in green. And option 2 is burgundy. Like Aragorn himself, and like some other men of Rohan, which wear different shades of red. And I think following the idea that we began with this outfit, like emulating Ranger Aragorn, now we can emulate Aragorn once again with this battle outfit, which is very similar to the one he received from Theoden. So I think I'm gonna stick with this one actually. But if you don't mind me doing this, Aragorn and Eomer, we are ready for the battle now. Really excited to be sharing this moment with you guys. I think I like this a lot, but just to be safe, let me get this outfit as well. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks nice too. But seeing this from the back, I think I'm gonna keep this one. Still not 100% sure, more like 90-95% sold on this burgundy outfit. But I guess I still have some time to decide before I need to start the battle. Where is Theoden now? Ah, okay, here. We have also presented ourselves to Theoden. So yeah, here we are, ready to defend the King of Rohan. Cool, awesome. You know what? It's been a while since I took some pictures with this stoic pose, and I want to get one with Aragorn and Eomer. So let us do that really quick. Now I don't know about Geralt. Should he be taking part in a battle such as this? Or should I send him inside Herberg and protect him? I don't know. What to do with you, boy? What do you wanna do? Do you wanna fight with me? Protect the women and children? What do you wanna do? You still have some time to decide. Well, let us look for Glewina now. You might also be noticing I changed the pronunciation on that. I wasn't sure about it, but I also was leveling another alt recently, and at some point he is called Glewina on the voiceovers, so I think I'm gonna stick with that. I do struggle a lot with these old English names, so hope I'm doing this right. And here we have it.
There is a map on the table over there. Will you show me how the battle will progress?
I saw the king not long ago, and he seems to be in fine spirits, Beriathan. He is not blind to the danger, but he does not ignore it either. His is not bravery without cause, but courage, based on confidence in his men and his own strength. He sheltered too long in his own hole, and now that he emerges and sees battle, he is ready for it. I do not think Aragorn should worry about my king. Theoden will surprise him when the battle is upon us. I speak of battle, for I am a minstrel and know little of strategy or tactics. You have seen more of war than I have, and this old man counts himself fortunate. There is a map on the table over there. Will you show to me how the attack will progress while we wait? So interacting with a map table near Glewina will allow time to pass. Action will resume after midnight when the battle is joined. And I think we have enough time to do the tutorial of epic battles, so let us do this. The sound of fighting reaches your ears. The battle is joined.
Look! It is gambling from the dike. He seeks our help.
Thank you for the lesson in strategy and tactics, my friend. I cannot say the lesson will remain long in this old head of mine, but for now I feel glad having learned something of what awaits us here. But look, it is gambling from the dike. He seeks our help. So, yeah, basic training, the tutorial for the epic battle system, is optional and can be skipped if you intend to play the story tales in Helm's Deep. We're gonna do both, I think, but yeah, let us do the tutorial all the same. Gambling gestures at you and seeks to catch his breath. But for the record, well, Lewina, you are a minstrel. You've been learning a lot of things by memory all your life, so I think you will remember what I taught you during this time. And now, what about you, Gambling? Aragorn gave us all some advice pertaining to epic battles, Beriathan. Do you remember? Speak to me to learn all about them. And let us do it. Should be fun. I will remind you of what Aragorn said to us before the walls of the Herberg, but quickly. The armies of Saruman approach. Will we be ready to face them? I hope we will. There are so many screenshot-worthy shots in here, I guess. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. The Herberg behind us? Yeah, I mean, take a look at this. Yeah. Oopsie. Used the wrong binding for that. Not a biggie. We don't need those portents right now. But yeah, let us do this. We are ready now. Saruman's armies will soon be here, Beriathan, but I fear that my companions do not know what to expect. An epic battle is not like the engagements we have faced to this point, and I want to ensure that our friends are ready. This valley will soon be filled with Saruman's armies. We must prepare for battle. I have fought in many wars, Aragorn. I know what is to be done. This will be different, Gimli. This is no small engagement. In the battle to come, the forces of Saruman will care little for individual heroes. They seek nothing less than the total destruction of Rohan, man, woman, and child. You are saying they will pay me no heed? Then I will make them suffer for their oversight. I know you will, my friend, but what are the actions of a single man or elf or dwarf? Our foes number in the thousands. Now, of course, my axe can reach only so many. That is why we must also instruct the men of Rohan how best to fight during each battle. Commander? Yes, Aragorn. During the tumult of battle, we cannot speak to every man individually. Instead, we will suggest tactical approaches to commanders such as you. Then you will relay them to the men under your command. Very good. For example, the officer. Selecting the commander will highlight all of the soldiers under his command. During battle, by speaking with someone and waiting orders like a commander, you can change the tactics of a group of soldiers. Some options are available at the outset, such as killing the soldiers over time and increasing their damage output. Other options become available by spending points in the officer battle roll. I will convey your orders to the men under my command. We will do as you say during battle. So here you have the option of testing this. Commanders. So an ally that features the text of waiting orders. special command UI, heal, shields, siege fire, target focus, checking off corruptions. The potency of this can be upgraded, improved, or unlocked through the promotions tab of the Epic Battles panel. So there you can see what we can do. We cannot assign target priority yet, nor another fighting stance, but we can get some armor, haste, damage, and heals. We have fought large numbers of enemies before, but never so many foes as these. There will simply be too many enemies for one hero to dispatch alone. We must use other methods against them if we are to survive. We will not fight the orcs down here unless the battle goes ill. We will try and lessen their numbers from afar with ranged weapons and siege equipment. Legolas speaks the truth. Every foe we slay from a distance is one less foe to face up close. We will see them marching in formation toward us. If we can aim our ballista at these formations and fire at the right moment, we will face fewer enemies up close. Every one of those marching foes will scale our walls? We should lessen their numbers if we can. But I know little about siege equipment. I can tell you about it if you like. Enemies will march in formation towards us. When a formation reaches our position, enemies will engage in close combat. We should use siege equipment to lessen their numbers first, before that happens. Anyone can build and use basic siege equipment. Other options become available by spending points in the engineer battle role. Beriathan, come with me to practice building and using siege equipment. You can build such devices by interacting with their transparent outlines. Every time the progress circle fills up, the device moves closer to completion. Once a device is built, you can interact with it to aim it, load it, and fire it. Try it now if you like. Here, as you can see, we can build a small ballista or a catapult, small catapult. Large army warfare requires large siege weaponry, various sizes of catapults and ballista. Taking commands of this weapon, you can choose ammo, aim, crank, upgrade, and fire them. If you have an ally with you, they can aid you in these actions or do one of their own. The actions you have available and the efficiency with which you perform them can be unlocked and upgraded to the promotion tab, of course. So the only thing we can do right now is build them. After building them, we can load them, crank them, fire them, aim them, repair them, extinguish the fires on them, dismantle them, or upgrade them. But most of these options will be unavailable to us from the get-go. While you are building and while you are doing many of these other options, you can still fight. So there's some versatility to this. You will see in just a moment when we finish building this ballista. We do have some options, but not all of them. We cannot upgrade anything. We cannot dismantle them so that we can place it at another position. We can only load, crank, and fire. And something similar happens with this catapult. Because we can only use the regular shell, these other shell types will not be available for us just yet. The same with the powder options. We don't have any powder to use at rank 1 or at rank 0 actually. We can only build, crank, and fire and aim. But we cannot upgrade either. So here we have gotten the introduction to 2 of the 3 roles that we can do during epic battles: officer, engineer, or vanguard. And most people will go with engineer. It provides the most utility, especially at higher ranks when you can dismantle and upgrade siege weapons. And you become a one-man army, really. Officer It's really good to have as a secondary role so that you can issue some orders with greater potency and lesser cooldowns, and then switching back to Engineer and Vanguard. To this day, I don't understand Vanguard, and I don't think a lot of players do, and I will explain to you why in just a moment. There are 3 different battle roles in which you can specialize, Beriathan. These roles are Engineer, Vanguard, and Officer. By performing well during battle, you will earn points you can spend on these roles in the promotions panel, becoming more effective at your chosen specialization. Speak with each of the representatives here to learn what each battle role has to offer. So what we have learned so far are things that you can do regardless of your training. So you can issue orders and you can build and fire siege weapons, even if you don't have any points spent on those trees. But for more specialized options, you need to invest your points. If you want to excel at building, upgrading, and firing siege equipment, you should focus on the Engineer battle role. Engineers can build siege equipment and other devices more quickly. They also have more options for upgrading and repairing such devices, and can place traps to hinder the enemy. Engineers can also disable enemy traps. There you have it. As you can see, a one-man army, if you know how to use all the equipment that you have. If you want to excel at issuing orders to commanders and provide useful buffs to your allies, you should focus on the Officer battle role. Officers can issue more effective orders to commanders. They also have more commands at their disposal and can make a group of soldiers focus on particular targets and change their weapons. Officers can command soldiers to shelter from incoming catapult shells or arrows. Additionally, officers can plant banners that aid nearby engineers and vanguards. If you want to stand toe-to-toe with enemy forces, you should focus on the Vanguard battle role. Vanguards unlock powerful attacks by earning kill streaks, defeating many enemies in succession. They also receive benefits by dealing and receiving damage, and can also run faster than other heroes. A Vanguard is happiest when engaging in close quarters combat. So here, the road to battle, well, this map indicates, well, to launch the encounters and how much you have before you receive some rewards. So first of all, we're gonna activate rollover for all your rewards, so that we only cash out gold rewards, which are the most useful. And here we have the promotion points. Engineer, Officer, and Vanguard. Okay, so we know a little of what they do, and as you can see, we already have 4 points available, so we can get some of this done. I'm gonna go with load and a little bit of aim as well. And here on Vanguard you can earn a run speed. You should definitely get this if you can. It's really useful. Coupled with forced march, that would be great. But other than that, Vanguard can be really tricky, because you will see in the next episode the NPCs can kill all the enemies really fast. So getting kill streaks is kinda tricky, especially with classes like Warden, since you will be coming in and out of combat so quickly. It's really hard to chain gambits and kill enemies. So as a Warden, I have barely gotten any kill streak points when I try Vanguard. On other classes like the Champion, it's a little bit easier, and you can get a high kill streak count and use your skills, and that is kind of fun. But the most efficient strategy, no doubt, is just Engineer and using catapults and ballista and all the other things at your disposal. I would count mere survival of the battle a success, given the foes arrayed before us, but the truest victory is one in which we overcome all the challenges the battle brings. As a battle ebbs and flows, we may be presented with optional side objectives. These are not necessary for victory, but completing them successfully will add to the merit we earn in the battle, the measure of our victory. The more you practice at a certain battle role, the more skilled you will become. The more efficient you are and the better you perform the battle, the more merit you will earn. Side objectives are optional, but if you can complete them, you will earn more merit. Merit leads to greater recognition among your fellows, but also to real rewards as well. Rewards? The thrill of battle is all the reward I will need. Well spoken, my friend. What say you, Beriathan? Is there anything else you would ask? So in here, you can refresh your memory on all the things you've been told so far. And when you're ready, you just talk to Gimli, and that's it. It is very complicated, but I believe I understand what Aragorn has said to us. We will do well, Beriathan, I am certain of it. And that is it. That's the epic battle basic training. I believe I know enough for now, Beriathan. I hope you feel the same. This land will not give in to Saruman's designs without a fight. So that's basically it. This is all we needed to be ready for the battle ahead of us. As you can see here, you can repeat the basic training.
Is almost upon us.
I think battle is almost upon us. If you're willing to stand with my men, come with me to hold Helm's Dyke for as long as we are able. So that's what we will do on the next episode, and not only the Dyke, but the entire Battle of Helm's Deep as well. It's gonna be a lot of editing on my part, but I hope you enjoy what's to come, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as well, because this is the end of today's episode. So once again, thank you for watching, hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you on the next one for the Battle of Helm's Deep. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you on the next one.